got mail. Good morning, everybody. Your turn to Computer Studio now on the Nissan Communications Network. I'm Edmond, your host for the next hour or so, along with Gal.
Good morning.
Good morning. And Spence is here.
I have to inform you of I've raised my fee.
That's fine. We'll talk about it later.
I have to disclose you before
Oh,
start to collect the higher
okay.
fee.
And Katie's here.
Morning.
Good morning. Our number is 561-518-9773, and today's show is made possible by vMix Software and is sponsored by Tom Sinclair of Live Streaming Gear. Did Nick last week say he was not going to be here today?
He said for a couple of weeks he's traveling.
Yeah, okay. Well,
Yeah.
All right, so what's been happening?
Still building stuff on Cursor. Still keeping me busy with that. And that's good. It's still working well, even though it's gone through some updates, I guess. I don't know. They're like, we have to update Cursor, and I'm like, no, it's gonna break everything. But then it's
No,
fine.
every day it updates. Every day you should update.
Yeah. But that's my update. I just been working on the same app, and I'm honing in the UX UI design. It's looking very professional.
Nice. Hey, guys, we're going to be able to say we knew her when.
Haha.
Yeah, I got to the point where it wasn't doing exactly what I wanted. So I opened up Figma, which is like the standard UX UI software that people use to design. And so I learned some Figma, and Figma you can export the SVG code for the items, and Cursor liked that. So I was like, perfect. So I would just like build it and then give it the SVG code, and it updated the graphics. So I was like, sick.
Nice. Nice.
I've been having fun with helping someone deal with screen reader app and its relationship to Outlook. Very squirrely. A source of one of those things where you work on it, have to step away for a while because you just start to get frustrated and realize that you're not necessarily in the right mood to work on something like that, but making progress slowly.
Wait, do I need to build an app in Cursor for you?
Yeah. Well, the issue is that the Outlook that was on the machine was pretty old, and the screen reader has yearly updates with patches in between and reasonably up to date with the screen reader. But there was a problem when you go navigate through the Outlook, it would actually say Wonderbar. And I'm like, what the hell is Wonderbar? And he would go look at the first email. Okay, look at the second one. It would lock and say Wonderbar. And I'm like, what is? Well, Wonderbar is actually a feature in Outlook. It is how it handles the presentation and different levels of what you're looking at, and how you can say I've got my left-hand column with my inbox and my folders, and then the second one is the preview screen, and the third one is the reader screen, and it will just lock the machine up. And the solution was to fix that issue was to get a reasonably priced newer version of Outlook, which turned out to be Outlook 2021, I guess, because you could get it for, I don't know, less than $20 for Office Pro. Did that, put that on there, that problem went away. Well, that didn't mean that. The problem was, now that you're working with an updated version of Outlook, the way that the screen reader was set up was just not working. It's still not working. Trying to move inbound emails to special folders, which worked fine before, but now it doesn't. So
So
we'll get there.
So did you make any strides in it? I mean, did you?
Well, he's able to read his email
Hmm.
and without it locking up, which is good.
Okay. All right.
But
Yeah, that's very good.
the way it's organized is still a problem.
Well, slowly,
So
he'll look. I
yeah,
think he fixed it all like that, right?
yeah. This is the way he organized. He just
Yeah.
had
Yeah.
in a subfolder. He had ways he would save this stuff, and
Yeah.
so when we moved over to the new version of Outlook, all the stuff that was in these folders, all the folders were empty, even though it was the current PST file. So what happened was I went back and looked at the archive file, which had everything up to a certain point, not exactly up to date, but maybe a loss of a day or two, and was able to move the stuff over to the new file system with the old empty folders. But he's still not able to take any emails and put them in the folders. And it's all got to do with navigation because everything is done on the keyboard with there's no mouse involved, obviously, with a screen reader.
Yep.
So
Yeah. It'll straighten out. It's
yeah,
fine.
no, it'll
It's
will,
fine.
and
It's
I
fine.
just feel
Yeah.
sorry for my. I can it's
We started talking about AI, and I mean, I had an experience. So Friday, I found out that my Zoom on my machine on my desktop stopped, kind of half-assed, stopped working. It will come up and it'll say loading. I couldn't schedule. I couldn't look at meetings and anything like this. So I went and read a little bit and they said, to go ahead and reinstall it and delete the data folder, a few things. Nothing worked. So I decided, well, I've been paying for this for years. Let me call and use support. Well, apparently they don't have support people. They have support agents. So I called and that nice girl came online and she said, I'm a virtual agent and I can help you with that. I said, okay. So I told my story, what's going on. And she said, okay, let's do a few. I mean, I was to go farther into it. I was so impressed with the way that agent, that AI interacted. It was, I mean, we were online for about an hour and a half trying different things, which, by the way, couldn't get fixed. But not long after we started, I forgot it was an AI and I would talk to it just like a regular person. And the way that there was not one glitch that reminded me that it was an AI. I would break in and she said, okay, go ahead. And I would say, and she said, all right, thank you for clarifying this. And she would ask me for what do I see on this screen and what is this code and what. And we just, about an hour into it, I realized, oh, yeah, that's not a person. And we were waiting for the computer to boot. And I said, I got to say something. I'm impressed about the way that an AI agent like you, how it behaves. And she said, oh, thank you very much. I said, well, I think I should thank the person that programmed you. She said, I will let them know. I mean, it was just like a person is talking. The only time that I was brought back and say, oh yeah, that's an agent, is about almost to the end. She came back and she said, I was asking her to spell things. because when she gave me like an URL, I couldn't understand it. And she did. And when I said, can you do it again? Can you spell it again? And it's not like she would say SS and I heard FF. And I would say, so it's A, Frank. And she said, yeah, that's okay. And it's not there. So I went and looked on the web for that. And I realized it says assets, which sounded to me like she said office. And she came back and she said, well, I'm sorry, I can't go on like this because I have to stick to my security protocol. Out of nowhere. I don't know why she said that.
You reach the end of the context window.
Oh,
I'll explain that in a second.
okay. But it was unfreaking believable. I was very satisfied. I couldn't care less that it wasn't a person because she had me do everything that I could think of. Reinstalling, run, clean Zoom, delete folders, rename folders within the Zoom on roaming. I mean, little things like that that anybody would, a regular person will probably do anyway. And of course, I mean, that's how it's programmed to do this. It knows. But it was unbelievable. I mean, I can now understand why some kids love to talk to a chat bot that would talk. I mean, at the end, she said, well, I really can't help you anymore. I don't know. I don't have any more information. That we did everything that was supposed to be done, and it's still not working. Would you like to chat to somebody? I said, oh, she's offering me to chat to a person. So I said, yeah. And she sent me a link, and I clicked on the link, and it came back and says, I'm the chat. I'm the virtual chat. And I said, no, thank you. I don't want to talk anymore with a virtual. I'd like to talk to a person. So I hung up and I said, it's fine. But yes, this was a very good experience, AI wise, very not satisfying solving a problem.
You notice that? I notice a lot of content now for videos on YouTube and other places are AI generated, and there's always a tell though, and typically it's around numbers because they struggle with the date. To say 2025, they say 2025 or 2025.
Yeah,
Well,
that'll change. Yeah.
no, it'll change. I realize, and it's not a bad thing. It's just you're listening
I
and say, "This is incredible! How the nuances in the voice and
Yeah.
even the little hesitations that the normal person would have when they're speaking are there, and it's very convincing till you hear the tell and you realize."
I didn't have any problem understanding her or following instructions other than URLs.
Yeah, it's that's not even the thing. It is impressive. We're all impressed. I'm Katie's story about using AI coming from a world of not knowing how to write a script or not knowing how to write a piece of software and feeling autonomous in dealing with that. It provides that type of power. But now that we've seen the shiny new toy, it's really important to understand the limitations. It's really important to understand where not to fall to. For example, the your realization that you're actually working with the bot and not with
A person.
with a person, right? Um, I do not know. I still don't know how I feel about the humanization of it, right? I actually think it probably needs to be less human in quirks. just so it'll be more effective for us. So we will know that there is the distinction and that it is different by design, okay? And not have expectations out of it. That will, because that will create both rage and the opposite, like you know, falling for it, right? Being tricked by it. Yeah, it's a complex thing. It's a very complex thing.
I don't know if I would call it tricked by it, but I was put at ease. It's like
Right, but
it was like I'm talking to somebody and somebody's talking back to me exactly what I would expect a person to how it. I didn't
yes,
see
and
anything that reminded me that it was a bot until it said this thing about
yeah, but let's
security.
be clear, Amnon.
Yeah.
You had, this was a very limited interaction.
Yeah.
Like by design, it was supposed to do one thing,
Mhm.
and it allowed Zoom in this case, right? The company, it allowed them to provide this service without expensing something, right, on their dime, unwanted to. It still didn't solve the problem. So
Right.
it didn't, whatever you felt that it took you the right route, I am saying it probably didn't, right? It probably even wasted your time.
Yeah. Hindsight, yeah, it was a waste of time, but
Right. There was
wasn't
none of the diagnostics were meaningful eventually. That's the bottom line, right?
right. They
And
didn't
whatever
solve it.
solved it, which as you told us this morning that it has been resolved, had nothing to do with that call. So
Right.
that's also important, right? So yes, it's effective. What will it change? Oh, for sure. I would rather schedule an appointment for the doctor, right, with this kind of machine than waste some humans' time, right? Same way I would probably prefer to do it over chat or over text versus calling the receptionist and being kept on hold and all that, right? So when it benefits me as a customer, definitely I'd take it. But we need to remember it's not a replacement, not really, not for everything,
Yeah, no, it's
and
not for everything, obviously.
right.
I
Uh,
mean, I knew that the problem is with my computer because I came here in the studio and I brought Zoom and everything was working like it's supposed to.
right.
So I signed off and I went back on my computer and at one point when after deleting this and deleting that and rebooting, I had that notice that said you need to give permission to your microphone and camera. I said,
Yeah,
"Oh,
that's a good thing.
one time it came up. I did just like I mean,
Yeah,
I
it's because you completely removed it, and
something.
now it
Well,
came back. Yeah,
so it was fine. I said, "Oh, maybe that's what it is," and you hope that that's what. No,
yeah.
and then yeah,
Interesting.
you told me to use the uh, bulk
Bulk crap.
crap
Uninstaller. Yeah.
uninstaller, and I did, and it found a whole. I mean, I first of all I uninstalled Zoom again, and I ran it, and it found a whole bunch of little files that
Wait. You didn't let bulk crap uninstall it for you?
no, I installed
No,
it.
you see, that's what you did wrong.
Oh,
You need to let bulk crap run the uninstaller because that also gives it all of the information about where it's touching the file system.
wait. No, I'm sorry. I remember what it was. When I told it to remove it, the Zoom uninstaller came on.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's right.
Yeah.
I
Okay.
did it from within all crap.
Yeah.
But yeah, it came up and it says okay, and then it went and looked and looked and looked and it
Right,
found a
and it
bunch.
finds files and it finds registry
Yeah,
entries.
all
Yeah.
that. So I deleted everything, ran it again. There was nothing. I said, okay, it's clean. Reinstalled it. Same thing. Not a bit different.
Except this morning it worked.
This morning, I mean, I was just after sitting here and I'm seeing that it's working. Yesterday evening, I had to schedule some shows
Yeah.
for tomorrow, so I did it through the web.
Yeah.
And while I was in the web, I clicked on there. You can look at the meetings, and all the meetings are there. Everything that was scheduled and in the future and all that. I said, let me see what is. And there's new meeting. So I started that, and it came up, and everything was working. I saw myself in there, and it actually brought the Zoom workplace. It was the same thing as if I ran it from the program on the computer at that point. So this morning, I just, after sitting here and starting Zoom, I said, let me go see. Just, I thought there was some updates to the servers last night, and I'm thinking updates, and I decided to try it. And it did come up, and everything is working. The only thing is, it told me I wasn't connected to the calendar, which wasn't really true because I was. I could see all the meetings in the calendar and when they coming up and all that. So it's yeah. But anyway, I mean, I was talking about the AI.
Yep.
It really impressed me.
Yeah.
I've had good experiences, but with understanding context. It's interesting. I stumbled across an article this morning. It says AI, excuse me, is losing the PR battle, and in that
Yeah.
confidence in it is kind of, and if they said it's a bipartisan thing, both sides of the political aisle are concerned about accuracy and things. But just wondering how that's going to go.
We'll
I
have
think
to wait
depending
and
on
see.
what you're using it for.
They haven't stopped using humans because of inaccuracy. So that never stopped.
You're right. Yeah.
What the bipartisan are probably worried about is that AI can replace politicians as well, probably.
Mhm.
So
That and just how quickly it can throw stuff out there to change public opinion.
maybe, I don't know.
Yeah.
Um,
It's the things that are out there.
talking about AI some more. There's an article here. Security researcher Dor Tzvi and his team at the cybersecurity firm he co-founded, Red Access, analyzed thousands of vibe-coded web applications created using the AI software development tools Lovable, Replit, Base 44, and Netlify.
Yeah,
And
these are all web-based app generators.
Okay. And found more than 5,000 of them that had virtually no security or authentication of any kind. Many of these web apps allowed anyone who merely finds their web URL to access the apps and their data. Others had only trivial barriers to that access, such as requiring that a visitor sign in with any email address. Around 40% of the apps expose sensitive data, he said, including medical information, financial data, corporate presentations, and strategy documents, as well as detailed logs of customer conversations with chatbot. I tell you why this kind of piqued my curiosity. I was talking with Ron, my system administrator, one day, and we just started to talk about Katie using cursor and that, and he said, this is great, but a lot of people that have no idea how to write software can do it now, but the one thing that they don't understand is the security. Yeah, it will be functional and everything is the way it's supposed to work. except the security.
You know who else does not understand security?
Uh-uh.
Computer engineering college graduates.
Because they never took it.
No, because they never deal with it.
Yeah. Oh,
They
okay.
don't. It's a learning curve.
It's
a lot of
it's
people are
something,
writing.
right?
A lot of people are writing code now, and they've never written code before. That is all the That's
Yeah.
all the difference.
Hey, what do you mean? My site's secure. I have AI check it. AI writes the code and then AI checks the
I don't
security. I
I
know, I get it. I'm just kidding. I mean,
I
it
don't
does
know.
do that. But yeah, that's why I want to put my site in front of a person that is experienced with web design stuff, because I have it check it, and it says all the things, like, you want to hide this, make sure this isn't exposed. I made sure it wasn't exposed, and so we'll see. The only thing that would be annoying is if people got access to my AI API code. Um, but I just need to get it in front of somebody that knows how to
Yeah,
hack into the system.
I'm not a programmer, so I
It's
don't know.
Cursor can help you get it secure as well. It's just most people don't even know to ask the question. They know that I want a window that I can click on and I can put in, a book name, or I can see an image, but they don't know to ask the questions about how to get it secure. Even a software company starting out, right? They start with a certain set of premises of what their product will do, but eventually they need to evolve and understand that this is going to live in front of the world, and the world sometimes wants to hurt you. So you need to be, you put protections. But if you do not think about those protections, you won't put it. That was my point about college graduates, right? They teach them how to create software. What are the tools? What are the paradigms? What are the structures? But when it comes to security, only those who took the class about security, only those who took the course about security understand security. I don't know if they understand it in the context of a language or whatever, but they start to understand it better. It's an evolution. It's step by step. Writing code is now easy. That does not mean that creating software is easy, right? It's still a multi-step process. You didn't write a single code, a prompt, Katie, and got the perfect software, but you got the perfect starting point, and you iterated on it and iterated on it and made changes and added to it. And eventually you got to the point where you wanted to add security. So you also dealt with that. That's the difference. And so I don't think that is ever going to change, right? So the critique about code vibing not being secure is mostly because people are still not learning how to create software. They're trying, and that's fine.
Yeah.
Hey, you created the Lamborghini of software, but you left the keys in the ignition in the driveway overnight.
Well, that's the beauty of software, right? Even if somebody takes it from you, you still have a copy.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'll take time. It'll take time when it's
I think
and coding doesn't change much from day to day. It's you can still write, but security, you have to keep up to date daily or sometime hourly because of all the stuff that, oh, yeah, we found this out. Oh, yeah, we found that out. There is this problem and there is this vulnerability. And you need to know about these things and what to do about them if it involves you writing the code.
so. Katie described, right? Her app uses internally. There's an API that reaches out to an LLM agent. Okay.
Yeah.
Uh, she does not have a lot of control of what goes on there, because the LLM is on the other edge of that API, and that agent behaves in a random way. And more software is starting to incorporate that. So that's an important distinction. You said coding doesn't change. It has changed tremendously, because today creating something that within your application relies on LLM is very easy to do. Might be expensive, but it's very easy to do.
Mhm.
So a lot has changed. Writing code has changed substantially. Developing software has changed substantially. It did not make it less secure or more secure. That's people. There's just a lot more people dabbling in this today. There's a lot more people who can, if we'll take the paradigm of car enthusiasts, right? Being your own mechanic and stuff. So not only can you be your own mechanic today a lot more effective, right? You actually have, when it comes to software, you can build the software that you want. So think about it. You have tools to create the car that you want to drive, right? So it's exciting. It's really
Yeah,
exciting,
it
but
is.
also need to be aware.
Yep.
Yeah, that's all.
Okay.
Everybody complains, right? That kids will the new generation should not learn how to code. That is bullshit. That is,
Yeah.
they will need to focus on different aspects of coding for sure, right? They will need to understand a lot more. Now, those who will take the time and learn C and its memory management and learn assembly, those will be fewer and far apart. I completely understand that, but it doesn't mean that it's going away. You will always need the people who at least can understand and help adjust and design from that end. We will have a lot more people who don't know to write HTML, but are creating websites on their own. Yes.
So here is something else that has to do with programming. Security researcher Tom Roning has found that Microsoft Edge stores passwords in plain text in RAM. After
That's
create
that's old news.
well, after creating a password and storing it using Edge's password manager, Roning found that he could dump the RAM and recover his password, which was stored in plain text. Part of the issue is Edge loads all passwords to all sites upon single verification check, even if the user was not visiting a specific site. This is very different from Chrome, which only loads password for specific websites when challenged for the site's password.
Okay.
Also, Chrome will delete the password from memory once the password has been filled. Edge does not delete the password from memory once they are used. I'm wondering why.
Okay. No, the different code set that wasn't
Yeah.
updated or something. Yeah.
Huh? But
Look,
that's
the
interesting.
password management stuff has definitely changed because Microsoft wants to store the passwords on their servers instead of having Google preserve them, right? The accounting of Edge works with the Microsoft account versus the accounting of Chrome working with the Google account. So that code has definitely been changed, and somebody didn't do all of the due diligence.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm talking about, the programming.
Yeah.
It's different.
By the way, never, ever store your passwords on somebody else's server that you don't trust.
Yeah, well,
Come on, people.
well,
Don't do it with Apple. Don't do it with Microsoft. Don't do it with Google. You can't trust them. Not really. Or understand that when you do so, you trust them completely. Okay?
Yeah. From hidden GPS tracker polling your location every 4.5 minutes to JavaScript loaded from a random GitHub account, no SSL certificate pinning, and an in app browser that silently strips cookie consent dialog and paywalls from every page you visit. The new White House app seems to have a little bit of everything. They were really coming down on that app. So if you go to DC and you, or anywhere actually, well, I don't know if, I guess they can poll you from wherever you are if you just use the app. But it's interesting. They really track you.
Who needs the app installed?
I don't have
Like,
no idea.
while I'm doing a tour of the White House, maybe, but then I'll uninstall it.
Well, it's just interesting.
Well, I have something to
Yeah.
raise. We've raised it a bunch of times. Every time you talked about the Epic Games
Versus Apple.
lawsuit,
Yeah.
we talked about the alternative app stores
Right.
fiasco. It turns out Google I think the clock is ticking to something like either 60 or 90 days. It's like not a lot of time. And they are changing the privacy policies on Android in general and Google Play as well. And any Android device that has Google Play services on it will not allow, I'm trying to remember the specifics, but basically switching on unknown sources like it used to be will no longer be like this simple switch. It will require identification. Developers, in order for developers to use the development environment and create distributable software on Android, they will need to pay the fee, and basically they're shutting down. They're closing the gates on the completely open system that they created, and they're going the Apple way. They're going through the process of not allowing open development, basically. Only subscribed developers will have access to the APK, to the SDK, to the they'll be able to create software. So, and they will be, only those will be able to gain developer access to their devices as well, right? So me as a layperson, I'm not in the Android application generating market. I will not have developer access to my device without disclosing my identity first, and that costs money. So both things.
Well,
It's
there's going to
it's
be
a bad
another
move. It's a very bad move.
There's going to be another lawsuit in the future.
Well, forget lawsuit. Like if I ever upgrade to such a device, that is the last Android device I'm going to buy. Like, I would rather have a crappy device that I have more control over than not. Like, if there's no difference between Android and Apple, the same way I don't want Apple, I don't want Android, right? It's like the only reason I'm like even now I'm running on a Linux machine that actually gives me grief on this computer, but I'm debating whether I'm going to go back to Windows because they're getting closer and closer in the way they operate, right? So I don't know. It's like it's a change for the worst in my eyes. So it's important that people know about it. Look it up online. There are some websites trying to petition people. I don't think that ever does anything. But definitely get educated and understand what are your options.
Yeah, that's always a good thing to do.
Yeah.
Absolutely. All right. For those who are older among us, a 1999 press release bragged that Jeeves answered 92.3 million questions in just 3 months. In the digital wilds of Y2K, we came to him with our most probing questions, remembers the New York Times, whether it was Britney Spears or Tamagotchi, Tamagotchi,
Tamagotchi.
Tamagotchi.
Yeah. We asked, and he answered. Jeeves, the digital butler of information, the online valet who led us into the depths of cyberspace. Now, like so many other relics of yesterday's internet, Jeeves and his home ask.com are no more. After almost 30 years, the question and answer service and former search engine shuttered on Friday. To you, the millions of users who turn to us for answers in a rapidly changing world, thank you for your endless curiosity, your loyalty, and your trust, the company said in a notice posted on its now defunct website. Ask Jeeves. Boy,
Who
that
were
was.
using, like, what did they do in the past? I don't know, 15 years,
I have no
because
idea. I mean,
yeah,
I remember using it in the early days. It
it
was,
was a novelty.
yeah,
It was before Google, if I'm not mistaken, right?
yes, yeah,
Right?
yeah.
Google, it was more of a Yahoo buster than a Google buster, right? So yeah,
I don't know. Obviously, it was alive and well until Friday.
amazing.
So yeah. For those into hardware, this comes from Dave's computer tips. There's a utility called CrystalDiskInfo.
Yeah,
Um, the
it's used by
the
a lot of people to benchmark their drives.
well, I don't know that it. Yeah, I guess it got benchmarked, but their features. But the article said that a lot of SSDs are not like spinning disks that let you
Correct.
know, hey, I'm going to die, or here, look, this doesn't work, and and you say, well, I've got a lot of problems. It may be going bad. With SSD, they just poof go. So they say check that, and it tells you. I mean, when you run this, it tells you the health.
Well, yeah, a lot of SSDs, right? Just like hard drives, have smart in them.
Yeah,
And smart is what gives you that details.
yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's called Crystal Disk Info.
Yeah.
One word. I ran it on my machine, and it says that health was good and temperature was 40 degrees. When it was checking it will check a spinning drive too. It checked the
Yes,
spinning drive, and it
it was
was
designed for spinning drives.
yeah.
One thing that's important to note about SSDs, they have sort of a limited life counter, right? Because I've been
Yeah,
working with Flash lately in my job, getting to understand a lot more about technology. So it is incorrect to say that Flash is editable. Flash drives are editable. They are not. They are erasable.
right.
And so Reading from it is like reading from RAM in terms of speed, but writing to them is actually a very slow process. And there's a lot of trickery going on the electronics that allows the writing to be done. Writing is sequential in blocks, and erasure are also done in blocks. So there's a, if we want to erase a part of the drive, a part of a block, what happens is another block is being written with the new information copied over, just with the changes,
Mhm.
and then the block is erased. Right? It's a very, very elaborate, complex process. So in terms of timing, it takes much longer to write than to read. These blocks have a limited number of erases in them.
Rewrites.
Yeah. Do you remember the old EEPROM that you need to put under
Yeah.
UV light,
Yeah.
right, when you studied electronics? So it's basically the same mechanism. It has a limited life
Mhm.
in the amount of time they can be erased. By the way, it's also true for a spinning disk with magnetic blocks, but there the
They
numbers
live longer.
are in the millions, right?
Yeah.
Here we're talking about somewhere between hundreds to thousands of times that a block can be erased. It sounds like not a lot, but apparently it's enough. And it depending on the quality of the drive, that's why they're priced so differently. You get more erasures, you get more performance, you get better better structure of the materials and all that, and they can last longer, right? So a tool like CrystalInfo, when it comes to benchmarking, understand that when you are benchmarking an SSD drive, right, you are eating its life cycle.
Yep.
You're eating into its life cycle. So don't overdo it. Yes, definitely benchmark your stuff, right? But don't do it regularly. And before you do it, read the smart information, because that will tell you the percentage of the wear on the drive. And it'll tell you how much of its life you've already used up.
Used.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And talking about SSDs, Micron says it's now shipping the world's highest capacity commercially available SSD.
Mm-hmm.
And the numbers are honestly hard to wrap your head around. The new Micron 6600 ION packs 245 terabytes. 245 terabytes into a single drive, and it's aimed squarely at AI infrastructure, hyperscalers, and cloud providers dealing with exploding data growth. According to the company, the SSD can reduce rack counts by 82%. True.
Well, it depends. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Compared to HDD deployments offering similar row capacity.
Yeah.
While also cutting power usage and cooling requirements.
Right.
Micron says the drive tops out at roughly 30 watts. 30 watts!
Yeah.
Which is claimed.
But it's 30 watts for 220 terabytes of data.
Yeah. I mean, that's not much, 30 watts.
Exactly.
Yeah. It claims is about half the power draw of comparable hard drive setups.
Right. Yeah, we're working. I don't
245.
know if our clusters. I work for Vast Data. I don't know if our clusters are using those yet. We'll probably use those eventually, but we definitely have clusters out there with arrays of drives at 120 terabytes that we sell.
No.
So think about it: a box with 50 something drives. Where 40 something of those are 120 terabytes.
Yeah.
Right? That's those boxes are like when when we get them to the data centers, we don't sell the hardware, we work with them. But when we get them to the data centers, it is very important not to drop one. Yeah, it's very expensive. Yeah, and they're
Yeah.
heavy as hell when they're filled up. So
Yeah, I mean,
okay, I got to
they,
drop.
I didn't see it, huh?
I got to drop. So
Okay. All right, Gal. See ya.
Bye.
Thanks. I didn't
Bye.
see any of the prices. I mean, they didn't mention price of such a drive, but that is, phew, I could just imagine. Just imagine. Also, talk about AI. Cloudflare plans to cut about 20% of its workforce. 20%, or more than 1,100 employees, as it restructures around an agentic AI first operating model. 1,100 people are losing their jobs because of AI.
Mm.
I wonder what kind of employees are these. That's interesting.
It's I'm always hesitant to even come up with a firm opinion on this stuff because I see
Yeah.
the value at the same time I see the horror that it could create.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that article that I saw before about losing the PR battle,
Yeah.
it was across the board. It was not just in one industry or one application. It's just the confidence. Oh, there are some groups that don't really see it per se because they haven't been they haven't
Affected
had
yet.
an issue really with it. Yeah, it seems to be doing what they want it to do.
Yeah.
But also there are younger people that just have no context of experience to be concerned about it. Oh,
Yeah.
this is so great. Well,
It
I
is.
think it's so great too, but I look at it and go, I always like look at it sideways to say, okay, how is it doing this, and is it safe to believe it?
Yeah.
But I had another great experience with it, just home improvement stuff. It's amazing how you can go and ask about, well, my attic is really hot and I've done this and it doesn't seem to be working. What is the latest approved thing to do for your attic? Right. And what turns out is like exactly opposite what they said 10 years ago.
Oh.
Used to be don't put anything up against the sheathing in your attic because it'll just cook your roof, right? You can't put anything there. So I put up fiberglass insulation with an opening behind it so that the roof layer wouldn't be covered. Well, it turns out that's completely wrong now because fiberglass insulation does not stop radiant heat. It stops thermal heat,
Mhm.
basically a temperature heat from the actual atmosphere and all that. It does not. It does do a good job of insulating that, but what is it? Radiant energy will come right through it because I had a new roof put on, and my attic was hotter than it's ever been. They took out my attic fan that I had at the top of the peak of the roof because you don't need that, and it's like and now I do need it. But putting uh, a breathable foil backed or foil made barrier, even right up against the sheathing, is a great idea because it just reflects the heat back out. I don't know.
Yeah.
But AI did a great job of going through and looking at all the opinions and what's the current good points and bad
So you're
points.
going to do it?
Oh, I don't know. It's a lot of work.
Yeah.
I got to do something because my attic is so hot now.
Yeah.
It's just,
I'll find out this summer what happens, because when they replaced the roof last time with all the leaks and stuff, they said you don't need a ridge vent. So they closed it. He said, if it
Yep.
gets real hot in there, just call and we'll come and we'll put a few.
yeah. I have a
filters.
ridge vent, but it's
Yeah.
because it's a hip roof. It's only less than half of the total width of the house
Mm-hmm.
because the hip roof doesn't have a cap that you can put it on.
Right.
So,
No, we can't.
oh well.
All right, Apple. Katie, did you want to say anything?
No.
Okay. Apple has agreed to a proposed $250 million settlement over claims that it misled iPhone buyers about the availability of Apple Intelligence and its upgraded Siri features. The settlement would cover U.S. buyers of the iPhone 16 lineup and iPhone 15 Pro models between June 10th, 2024 and March 29th, 2025. It's like they promised something and they did not deliver.
Mm.
I mean,
Not the first time.
I don't see why you have to settle. I mean, it's not there. It's vaporware. Yeah, you promise. They're promising. That's why I'm buying the phone because they promised that they're going to do that. Come on.
This just proves that there are very good lawyers out there.
Yeah.
They're never gonna. They're constantly turning over rocks looking for issues that they can sue against.
This here is also interesting. A new Internet Matters survey suggests the UK Online Safety Act age checks are easy for many children to bypass. It includes fake birthdays, borrowed IDs, video game characters, and even drawing on a fake mustache. And they get they get around that. It's amazing.
For what? Like when they have to scan their face or something?
I guess, I don't know.
Huh.
Fake mustache. Then there was another article that said that 15% of parents of kids that are below age are actually helping their kids get around the limitation.
Interesting.
I guess they want the kids to be stuck to the TV to the computer instead of being outside. I have no idea.
I always notice when I go to eat out in a restaurant, which is not that often anymore, but you're sitting there and you see a family and you see children where they just have a tablet in front of them.
Yeah.
And okay, that's nice if you can do that, but statistically, it's not a good idea. And they've shown studies that say that it does hamper a lot of the kids' development. But they're just the convenience of it. I mean, it was one where the kid had to be under 2 years old.
Here's
I think it was somebody's phone, but having a video play to keep the kid quiet in a restaurant. You had a way of keeping the kids quiet in a restaurant. Say, if you don't be quiet, you're going out to the car.
America's school districts spent billions on technology during the pandemic. But now some states are limiting in-school screen time because of concern about its impact on children. Nationwide, school invested at least $15 billion and possibly as much as $35 billion from federal pandemic relief funds on laptops, learning software, and other technology between 2020 and 2024, according to an estimate by the Dunomics Lab. By last school years, 88% of public school reported in a federal survey they had given every child a laptop, tablet, or similar device. Now, some states and school districts are walking back their technology use, following pressure from parents who claim too much in-school screen time has zapped children's attention spans and left them worse off academically.
Also, they all get damaged. Like I've seen pictures on Reddit of staff that work at schools and it's just like thousands and thousands and thousands of Chromebooks that are broken or need to be returned, and it's like, what? It's such a waste.
Not only that, but a lot of these, you know where they're going to end up.
In the landfill?
Landfill.
Yeah. Well, I'll pull the RAM out first.
You know, it's funny. This is not a new issue. I can remember when my kids were small in elementary school. What did you do in school today? Oh, we watched a video. Really? And
Watch Bill Nye.
yeah, so it'd be,
The teacher needed a break.
yeah, I guess. But
All right. It's time. And we forgot to wish all our the audience mothers happy Mother's Day, and to everybody here too.
Happy
Anything
Mother's Day.
yes, happy Mother's Day.
anything else anybody wants to add? Nope.
Nope.
Okay. All right.
Don't make a deal to meet your AI agent in a parking lot somewhere.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. All right. Well, thanks, Katie. Thanks, Spence. And good morning, Kathy, Hannah, Nabil, Mac, Norm, Donna, Dina, Mati, Eleanor, Sarid, Yaakov, and Yael. Thanks, everybody, for tuning to Computers 2K Now. We hope you enjoyed and maybe learned something from our time together. Remember to practice safe computing. Back up your hard drive and update your virus scanner. And change any same passwords wherever you use them. We'll be back here next Sunday at 9, but you can always reach us at computers2know.com. Monday through Friday, 5 to 6 a.m., Nick hosts the Carolina Journal News Hour on WBT 107.9 FM in Charlotte, and it's on YouTube too. Great show. Go to YouTube and search for Carolina Journal News Hour. And Monday through Friday, 7 till 8 a.m., Nick hosts the Nick Craig Show at nickcraig.com. So just go to nickcraig.com and get all the details. Again, happy Mother's Day, and we'll see everybody next week.
You are tuned to the Nissan Communications Network. If you tuned in too late, you can always watch each program in its entirety or download an MP3 audio file of it in the archives section at nissancommunications.com. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel, follow us on Twitter, and like us on Facebook. Sponsored by StreamingGear.com and DeltaForce.net.